Good morning and welcome to episode number 339 of Simplifying Live with me, Shashank Nigam, your host and the CEO of Simplifying. On an Aegean Airlines flight from, actually, the light is not too much. Let me just turn the light on. There you go. That's a bit brighter. On an Aegean Airlines flight from Munich to Athens, it was an A321 flight. Business class passengers were receiving really good service. But then something interesting happened. Before landing, the flight attendants came by and gave them a piece of letter. The letter said, "We strive to provide the best customer service and exceed expectations. We're really sorry that this flight did not have the curtain separating the business class and economy class. For that, we would like to apologize, and you are entitled to a free flight anywhere in our network." Anywhere. Most passengers were surprised. One of them actually shared this on a closed Facebook group on people flying business class and up front. And there was a huge discussion on that group around how far Aegean Airlines is going to recover customer service. I have myself flown Aegean Airlines, and I have to admit it has been one of my best narrow-body flying experiences. I flew from London Heathrow to Athens. This was back in 2010, 2011. But I remember distinctly really good food, fantastic service, and that too on a narrow body. I think they come close to the likes of Qatar Airways as well as others like Turkish Airlines, especially in Europe. But this is not always the case. 1 Mile at a Time, a very popular frequent flyer blog, recently shared that Ben, the author, flew TAP Air Portugal to Lisbon. I believe it was from London. And on this flight, they said there's going to be reduced service and there'll be no meal service because it has a reduced number of crew. Fair enough, but what did that mean? That meant that the business class passengers were given just 1 cup of water, and when Ben asked for another glass, he was denied. He said, "Sorry, every passenger just gets 1 cup of water." That was it for the whole flight. The irony is that sitting up front, he could smell the oven heating up the food, but I guess that was for the crew. Really unfortunate, because at the end, when the flight landed, the flight attendant read the cabin announcement without any context, saying, "It was a pleasure serving you today. Hope you fly TAP Air Portugal once again." And the thing is, all of this needs to be context sensitive. Airlines cannot just act without doing customer recovery. I mean, there are many flights I've flown which were delayed by a lot, and there was no semblance of an apology from the pilot or the flight attendant, just saying, reading the normal announcement saying, "Hey, you know what, we'd love to have you back on our flight." I'm not sure if I'd love to be back on your flight if you're constantly delayed, isn't it? So, two things here. One, I think flight attendants and crew need to be very contextually sensitive and make sure that they acknowledge when something goes wrong, even if they can't make up for it. Secondly, airlines do need to think proactively. What can they do for customer recovery when things go wrong? In case of turbulence on a Singapore Airlines flight, it's a story I share in my book Soar as well. And during turbulence, there was heavy turbulence, food all over. When the flight landed, every passenger got off the lighting in Changi Airport in Singapore on the Singapore Airlines flight. Aegean Airlines, like we saw, surprised business class passengers by giving them a free flight anywhere on their network, and that really helped. That is the thing airlines need to think about. How can they use that moment where there's a service lapse and turn it into a triumph? And that's the key. Love to hear your thoughts. Have there been incidences like this with you? Please feel free to share on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or LinkedIn. Meanwhile, you guys have a fantastic day, and I will catch you tomorrow. Till then, have a good one. Bye-bye.